my master's in social work, but destiny brought me to the corporate world. My late husband, Rohintanaga, was an outstanding entrepreneur and was the head of our company, Thermex, and he built this organization in the field of energy and environment. By training, Rohinton also was not an engineer, and yet successfully ran Thermex. Being a charismatic leader, he was able to attract the best of talent and entrusted them with the responsibility to come up with innovative ideas and make them successful. When he was in his early 40s, he had an massive attack and a stroke. Well-wishers suggested I take interest in our company, which was private. I joined in the human resource division under a wonderful head who nurtured and invested in me, and his name was Prasad Kumar. When Prasad left our company to be a consultant, I was made the head. I loved working in HR, and our company won many awards. A year after our company went public, Rohinton suddenly died of a heart attack at the age of 60. Within 3 days, the Thermex board decided that I should be the executive chairperson. My husband and I were best of friends, and I was missing him terribly and was not mentally prepared to assume this responsibility. I kept telling myself that I'm terrible in finance. I still count like this, do you know that? I'm very poor in technical knowledge, and I kept wondering, would I be able to manage the company? What helped me immensely was attending the residential Buddhist program called Vipassana. Anyone from here has attended it? Quite a few. It is for 10 days and we are not allowed to speak, read or write. We are pushed to go within ourselves and discover our potential and our strength. Earlier, I was paranoid about death of a dear one and used to touch wood. But today I have realized that even if I carry the entire forest with me, I cannot change my destiny. I understood and accepted that all of us have to die. Everyone in this audience will die. We don't know how far your AI will progress or whatever you are doing, but all of us here sitting will die. And that death is inevitable. But what we don't know is when, where, and how we will die. It is unpredictable. Earlier, I used to refer to death as a tragedy, but have realized that death, which is inevitable, is not a tragedy. But not investing in relationships that matter is a tragedy. I also realize the futility of constantly comparing myself with my late husband. All that was accepted of me was to give out my best and without hesitation ask for help. And I shamelessly asked for help whenever I needed it. I came back from Vipassana full of confidence and charged. During my husband's time, Thermex had diversified into several non-core businesses, such as software, electronics, bottled water, etc. These added to our top line, but eroded our profit. When we had gone public a year before my husband's death, our share price was quoted at 400 but had come down to 36. I was convinced that we needed help from a consultant, but my male senior executives told me that we were capable of turning around without any external help. I think men find it difficult to ask for help because it comes in the way of their macho image. Do you agree? In spite of their resistance, I convinced the board to bring in Boston Consultancy Group. We had to make many unpleasant and tough decisions and had to close down a few non-core businesses, and that meant asking people to leave. In earlier days, except for issues of integrity, we never asked our employees to leave because India has no social security net. Other major changes we undertook were reconstituted the entire board. I think it was the first time in India that had happened, which meant requesting all the old board members to step down. The family had to decide to be either executives and step down from the board or stay on the board as non-executives. My daughter Meher and her husband Feroz were used to being executives and being on the board and were very upset with me for pushing them to make this difficult choice. But today, they understand and appreciate this decision of giving up their executive position and being on the board. We introduced a robust performance culture and rekindled our tradition of innovation and customer focus. Those were tough and challenging times, but with destiny on our side and thanks to all the help given by many people within and outside the company and immense support from Meher and her husband Feroz, Thermex turned around in 2000 and 2001. I've been often asked that as a woman, did I face any handicap? And I would say not at all. I can't tell you how people went out of their way to see that I succeed. Soon after the turnaround, at the age of 61, I decided to retire and the board appointed my daughter to take over as a non-executive chairperson. She has done her master's in chemical engineering from Imperial College, is very good at finance and has imbibed the family values. Under her leadership, Thermex has grown substantially and moved towards green business. 14 months after my husband's demise, my 25-year-old son Kurush died in a car accident. Kurush was very keen that a substantial part of our earnings should be given to social causes. Over the years, my family and I give 50% of our Thermex dividend towards philanthropy. My area of interest is value-based education, and I emphasize value-based education for the underprivileged. I am deeply associated with two NGOs, Akanksha and Teach for India. Our country is riddled with social issues such as malnourishment, dismal health and education for the poor, huge unemployment, and where 1% of Indians hold about 40% of India's total wealth. We have become insensitive to the suffering of others and expect only the government to solve all our problems. onwards. We are living in a world perhaps where our differences are growing at a rapid rate and our conscience has become numb. We are not willing to accept that business cannot survive in a society that fails. I'm sure most of you in this audience are already doing something worthwhile. But the challenge is how we can do more so that our impact is magnified and things change for the better. I am a firm believer that everyone, and I mean everyone, can contribute towards a better world. It could be through financial support, through giving time and effort to reach out to someone deserving, or using our skills for a better India. I once again thank Time for today's award. Thank you very much.